Good morning, everybody. Hi. So it's Karen Kong. I'm a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator here in Ottawa, and this is my This or That Thursday. So every week I try to post 2 cards in my Facebook group, and I ask people to choose one to have me make on Thursdays. So thank you for joining in. That's what we're doing today, is making the card that you guys chose. I'm just going to get set up on my computer so I can see comments when you guys join me. So when you join in, say hi, you know, so I'm not talking to myself, okay? So just give me a second. I'm just going to get set up. And hopefully I'm broadcasting in the right group. Let's see. All right, looks like I'm in the right place. All right, and hopefully people will be joining in soon. So it's going to be a hot one today. I can't believe it's like only mid-May and we're going to hit 30 degrees here today in Ottawa. It's going to be hot. I'm not complaining though. I like the warm weather, although not quite so hot, but that's what air conditioning is for. Okay, so last week I skipped because my daughter had a dance competition in Brockville, and so we spent Friday, Saturday, Sunday there, and it was a fun time, really busy, but she did well, and their team made it to the finals, so we ended up staying till late Sunday night watching all the top dancers and the top teams compete, which was really fun and exciting. We've never done that before. So we're still kind of slowly recovering. It was a long weekend, so, but I'm happy that I got a couple cards made, and I'm back today. So today I wanted to show you guys Hinge Step Stamping. So if you were tuned in for my new annual catalog party, the launch party, there was a stamp set that we looked at, and it was it had like these tiles on it, and I was wondering, you know, how they created the background that they made using that stamp. And you need a Stamparatus, and you need to use the Hinge Step Stamping, and I hadn't done it yet, so I thought today would be a great time to try it out. Hi, Sandra. Yeah, so it's in the catalog. I forgot to get it pulled out. I don't know if I can find it quickly, but if you notice in the in a stamp set description that it says Hinge Step Stamping, it means that you can take one of the stamps in it and use it for lining, like you'll line up the stamp and be able to create backgrounds with them and cool designs. So it's the one with some really cool tiles. I should have found it. Oh, is this it? No, that's not it. Anyways, I thought it was really cool, and I hadn't done it yet. So anyways, that's what we're going to do today. So let's get started. I'm just going to switch my camera over. Just give me a second, all right? Okay. Here we go. All right. Hi, Maureen. Thanks for joining in. Okay, so I made 2 cards. I think that's, hang on a sec. I'm just going to move my stand slightly over so that I'm not cutting off the bottom of my work area, because I tend to forget that I'm not on the screen if I do that. All right, let's stop making this wobble. All right, here we go. All right, so here's the 2 cards I made. This one is Christmas, and I know it doesn't look like Christmas because it's not your traditional Christmas card. I totally cased this. I saw a card that Jacque Williams made, and she has beautiful cards. And this is one that she made. I only changed it slightly. I used a different color card base. She had white, and I have a different ribbon than she does. And she used silver dots, but and I don't have any silver, so I used clear dots. So yeah, so they're non-traditional colors, and I think it's super pretty. And then this one I made, you know, just from the inspiration I got from different. Oh, Sandra found that that stamp set, Lovely and Lasting, on page 25. Yes. Yes, this one I just took some inspiration from all the other designs I made, and I used the new in colors to make this card, and I'm pretty happy with this one. I'm probably going to give this to maybe my daughter's teachers, one of my teachers, their teachers. Maybe I'll make a few more and I'll give it to all the teachers, because I put a thank you inside. So they're going to be their thank you card this year. So we're not doing this one, we're going to do the other one. Because a bunch of you are apparently already into the Christmas mode, which is way earlier than me. So this was made using the Whimsical Trees from last year's July to December mini catalog. And I don't know if it's coming back for this mini catalog coming up. But hopefully you'll be able to find something similar. Like if you wanted to make something similar, I'm sure you could find something similar to use to make this card. Okay, so the only other thing is that so she didn't tell me in her blog what colors she used. She just told us that she used the Subtles collection plus Fresh Freesia. So the only orange, it was an orange toned tree that she had and stamping, and I thought it was Calypso Coral, but it looks kind of dark, so I think I might switch it out for the Pale Papaya. I haven't decided yet. What do you guys think? Should I use the Pale Papaya instead of the Calypso Coral? Because then it's a lighter, it's more in a lighter shade family, and this Calypso seems to kind of stand out a little bit. So any votes there? We'll get started anyways while I see if you guys have any opinions on whether or not I should switch it out. Okay, so let's get the paper ready first. So this is a 3 3/4 by 5. So it's your standard. Is that standard? No, I had to cut it down. Let me just double check. Sandra says both colors look good. Okay. So this is 3 3/4 by 5. Okay, so that's my white. All right, so I have some scraps somewhere lying around. Let's see, where did I put them? That's the question. Oh, there they are. Okay, so here's my paper trimmer, and I'm gonna cut this 5 inches first. So if you don't have a paper trimmer like Stampin' Up's paper trimmer, this is pretty awesome. 5 inches is right here, so I don't have to pre-measure with my ruler, which is what I used to have to do when I didn't have this trimmer. So 5 inches, and then 3 3/4. So 3 3/4 is right there. I know this piece of paper was a little bit wide. Yeah, so I have to cut off like 1/4 inch. Okay. 3 3/4. All right, and I need a card base. This is your standard card base, except that it opens this way. So I am going to cut my card base. And don't worry, if you want to try and reproduce these cards after, I will post the measurements in the description of this video, and you can get that later. So you don't have to scramble to try and write stuff down. So, all right. So this one is 4 1/4 by 11. So 4 1/4. Whoops. Let's pull this all the way down. 4 1/4 by 11, and I'm going to score at 5 1/2. So this is the scoring blade here. Okay, and I need a piece of gray. It's just showing like 1/8 of an inch here. All right, just a second. So this is 3 7/8 by 5 1/8. I think 5 1/8. 3 7/8 by 5 1/8. Oh, I need a piece of gray. Let me just get that out. See if I have something similar. Nope, that one's already folded. All right, I'll have to grab a fresh sheet. Okay, so what did I say, 5 1/8. So I'm going to cut 5, and this is 1/8 right here. And 3 7/8 this way. 3 7/8. Okay, just gonna double check that. So it should mat with just 1/8 of an inch around. That looks good. All right, so my paper's ready. And let's cut some trees. So I do have some trees left over from cutting it yesterday. I'm missing a few colors, so we'll cut those out. So let's see what we have here. I have the purple, I have Blushing Bride, I have, oh, this is one that I think she actually used the soft sea foam, but I don't have any soft sea foam. So I tried cheating by cutting out a white tree and then sponging on soft sea foam, but it turned out darker than I expected. So that's not what I wanted. So I went with a Pear Pizzazz instead. So I need to cut the Pear Pizzazz. So I need a Pear Pizzazz. There's already Calypso Coral. And I need a Pool Party. That was the last color. So I just need 2 of them. So I'll do this one here, and I'm going to do the pear. Maybe I'll do the pear in using the other tree. There's one slightly fatter tree and one slightly skinnier tree. So I'm going to bring my cut and emboss machine over. Let's move these out of the way, make some room. All right. So let's line these up. So if you've never used a cut and emboss machine, it's, you know, you have all these plates that you have to work with, but really easy to figure out which plates to use because they have it all marked out for you. Instructions are right on the plates. You never have to scramble to look for it. I found it super helpful when I was first learning how to use the cut and emboss machine, that everything was right there, and it's really well made. Okay. I'm just dusting off some of the paper fragments left over because you don't want to have that in between in your sandwich because it'll press into the paper and then make an indentation. And you don't want that. Okay, so here's some trees. Oh, I need my stylus to stick. Get this out. So I just have a stylus to poke through the release holes here. And this one. All right. I'm just going to move this cut and emboss machine back over to the other table. All right, so now I have my trees ready. So I'll just put them off to the side here. All right, so here we go with the Hinge Step Stamping. So I'm going to take my Stamparatus, and you want to start with your image at the top because what you're going to do basically is put your stamp here, and you're going to keep moving, taking this out, this panel out, and moving it down. It goes by inches, okay? So it'll just keep moving down, and that's how you achieve the even spacing of all these stamped images. Okay. So you don't want to start down here because then you're going to move right off your Stamparatus. Oh, I feel like I have to sneeze. I don't know about you guys, but it's the start of allergy season for me, so I'm like hoping I won't have to sneeze and blow my nose while I'm on live. Although today I have remembered to turn off to mute my phone, so nobody's gonna be calling me, because last night during my live I had my cell phone ring, the home phone ring, and like it was really distracting. All right, so here's the stamp. It is, may the love of the season warm your heart and warm your home and fill your heart. Okay. So here's my paper. I always like to line it up in this top corner here, so then if my paper moves when I'm doing the stamping, because sometimes the stamp sticks to it a little bit, I know exactly where I need to line it up again. Okay. Okay, we'll move this up a little bit. All right, so I'm going to line this up with the top corner of my page. So it took a little practice, because what happened was the first time I put it down a little bit too far, and where's my piece of paper going to? It actually went off the page. My last line was cut off. So sometimes you have to play around with it, but I should have realized, like, you know, like if you see, it should stamp in every single inch here, because it moves down by inches, right? You can see that matches up. And my last one, my very last line got cut off at the bottom because I started this a little bit too low. So this time I'm going to make sure that it starts up here. Okay. So hopefully I won't get my head in the way, but I want to see if it looks kind of straight, and then what I'll do is I'll double check. Once I adhere it to the panel. Okay, so I'll do this. Oh, so I have to do something before I do this. What happens is that, so this is a cling stamp, and for cling stamps I don't need the foam pad behind it. When you have photopolymer stamps, they're thinner, and you need this black foam pad to raise it up a little bit higher. So I didn't need that, so it's a little bit too high with the foam pad in there, so I just took it out. Okay, so I'm lining it up again, put my magnets on. All right, so it should be still in the same place. Okay, so what I'm going to do is check here now. Each panel has a grid on it, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to use it to check that it looks straight. And I can see, I don't know if you can see, that the actual words in the stamp are not straight with these lines. So I can tell already that it's going to stamp kind of angled downward, so I'm going to just lift it and fix it using the grid lines on my panel to help me line it up straight. Okay, I'm just eyeballing it to see, because I can tell, and it just bugs me when, like, if I stamp it and it's all angled downwards, like especially when you get to the bottom and you find, oh, it's not lined up properly, it's gonna just bug me and I won't be able to use that my stamped page. Okay. It's hard because the right side doesn't necessarily line up with anything on the left side here. So I'm just kind of eyeballing to see if this line looks straight, and I think it does. So let's cross our fingers and go with that. Does it line up the other way so you know how many you can get on the card lengthwise? Do you mean line up like here on the grid paper? Like here on the grid paper you can see it's kind of lining. Well, no, you know what? The hinges don't, see, you can see it doesn't actually line up exactly. So yeah, hard to say. And it depends how big your image is too. So might be worth it to use a scrap piece of paper first and try it out. But I knew, because I was casing somebody else's design, that it should fit, but just a few millimeters too much, one way, and it went off the page. Yeah, the other way, like even this way, it doesn't line up with the grid paper, but you would have to try it out, I think, because it will all vary based on the size of the stamp too. All right, okay, so last time I started with the Calypso Coral. I'm going to try the Pale Papaya this time. Pale Papaya, and then Blushing Bride, then the Pear Pizzazz. Pool Party, and then Fresh Freesia. I'm going to put it in this order. All right, so let's get started. Papaya. Oh, you know what? I'm going to put the stamp pad underneath here so that it can support the panel, and I don't have to hold it up on a funny angle. Actually, you know what? I think that they actually used, in one video I saw, a stamp case actually raises it up just a little bit higher, and that worked out better. All right, here we go. Okay, I'm going to do it just a second time because I find it just a tiny bit light. I don't want to do it too many times because I did it double stamped. Yeah, I think a test run is probably the best idea when you're using this technique. There we go. That looks good. All right, I just need to clean that off. So I can do the next color. All right, I'm gonna get a stamp. Here we go. I'm gonna get a stamp set to do. That's a little higher. All right, so now I'm gonna move it down one hinge. Okay, and I'm gonna ink it with Blushing Bride. That looks good. I think I'll just leave that. I'm not going to ink it again. Okay, wipe that off. And then move it down again. And we're going to do Pear Pizzazz. Whoops, I just inked my finger. Just a second. Wiping off. All right. Pear Pizzazz. That's good. And one more down. Now I found that as I move down, because there's less and less of the panel being held in place by these hinges, and there's a little bit of wiggle room, I have to be careful when I lay this down that I don't wiggle it on an angle and accidentally stamp it just a little bit crooked. So that was one thing I noticed. Okay. Sandra, have you ever tried this hinge step stamping before? Because I know you've had your Stamparatus for a while. All right, this one I'm gonna do again very, very lightly because it looks a teeny bit light to me. So when I put the panel down, I'm not gonna press. I'm just gonna let it sit on the page, and then I'm just gonna lift it so that I don't get too dark. Yeah, that's good. No, you haven't tried it. Oh, okay. It's actually really easy. You just have to pick like your what you want to use. Like not everything works. I was trying to think of other designs to do using like so some people had that new Wisteria stamp, and they stamped like leaves and stuff, and that looked really good. And then they put this. It was a landscape card, not a portrait card. Okay, and then the last one is Fresh Freesia. It's a lot easier than I thought it was. But, you know, I also cased somebody else's idea, so I can feel this wiggling a little bit. Can you see that? So I'm trying to pull it straight across so that it goes down properly. And I can see that this is very slightly, possibly off the page. Okay. It's right down to the bottom. I think I'm just going to be okay with that. Yeah, there's lots of cards and that you can make with this, and I actually found another Christmas card that uses the, I forget what stamp it was. It was a stamp set that I used for my December class, and it uses the Peaceful Deer. And I thought that one looked really good. All right, so that's basically it. You just keep moving it down, and you could do it all the same color. You could, if you have like, I saw another card that had a, it was a pattern party, and it so had like a stamp that was a vertical line, like you had like all these little lines, more like patterns, and it was just a stamp that was vertical. So then they stamped it vertically, and then it did a rainbow in the next color, and then the next color all the way down. So that was a really interesting technique that they used. Okay, so that's the stamping part, and now we'll just put on the trees. Okay, let me just move this out of the way. Okay, so I'm going to put on the trees first because I want to cut off the stems and the trunks of the trees so that they line up with the bottom. Yes, you're going to use your Stamparatus to do multiples for Christmas cards. That's a great idea. I'm going to have to think of a Christmas card this year that that I can do that with. This one's pretty cute. I really like it. It's non-traditional, that's for sure. Okay, so let me just line up my trees the way I want them. Okay, so I'm going to, oh, I didn't do, did I do a pale papaya? You know what? Did I do a pale papaya? I don't see it. I don't think I cut out a pale papaya tree. Just a second. All right, I'm gonna have to cut one out. Look at all these scraps, perfect for skinny trees. That's why I keep everything. Let's see, I think that one would work better for a skinny tree. All right, let's quickly cut out a pale papaya tree. And I'm gonna do that in the fat one. Sorry, I'm just getting my cut and emboss machine from behind me without dropping everything. All right, here we go. Does this fit? See? Oh, I love it when it fits into scraps like this. And I can like throw it away after without feeling bad. Okay, here we go. Here we go. Okay. All right, put this away again. You know, I thought I didn't need the mini cut and emboss machine, but that would certainly make it easier to switch it back and forth between my tables. And it was on sale, and now it's past, so I'm gonna have to hold on to that thought. And I really don't have room to store another cut and emboss machine, and my husband might get a little bit upset if he sees another cut and emboss machine. Okay, so some of these, okay, so the trees in the background are flat, so I use like glue to adhere those. And these ones I adhered using, because they overlay the trees behind a little bit, I use the mini dimensionals, okay? So I noticed that she had arranged hers originally in the same order as her stamping colors. And I had switched it around because I had cut different width trees, so we'll see how this turns out. Okay, not that it really matters, but I think it does look pretty when you use the same order. Okay, so I'm gonna put these here. It helps me to lay it out first because then I know approximately what height I want them. So I'm gonna put this one down here. Oh, you've used the Stamparatus for the reverse image. Yes, that's right. Yeah, I haven't done that yet. That's something I have not tried, and I need to get a silicone mat for that. This would go... Oh, I should have a tall version of this one. That's okay. Let's see. Yeah, I want a tall and skinny version of the Blushing Bride. Do I have one already? Just let me double check. No. Yeah. I think I want a tall and skinny one. Yeah, because then I can't reach down there. Just a sec. Yeah, I want a tall and skinny version of the Blushing Bride. Just give me a sec and I'm just going to cut one. Although, where did I put my Blushing Bride pieces? Maybe I should just stick with, if I go with the original layout, then I can probably not have to cut one out. Do this and this. 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 Yeah, you know what? I'll just forego cutting the other one. Okay, so something like that. All right. Okay, so glue. I'll do the blue one first because I want to make sure it's far enough out from the edge because I don't want it to be squished along the side. I like to have the same gap between the edge of the card of both sides. So I'm just going to put this one on first. So I'm just going to use dots of glue here. I find you don't really need a lot. Plus, if you put too much, it comes through the holes in the tree. It should dry clear. Okay. I think that's probably good. I don't know how far down. Oh, thanks. Well, I totally cased this. I found this, like I said, Jacque Williams did this one, and I really liked it. As soon as I saw it, I thought, oh, that's so cute. Like, really love the fresh colors. All right, so I'm just going to move this over, and I want it to be about here, and I want to have enough space on the side so it's not right up against the side of the card. Let me just turn this straight and it'll help me to line it up better. There we go. All right, and I'm going to put the green behind it somewhere around here. So let me get this one out of the way and I'll put a little bit of glue on. Yeah, this card's not that hard, and that Hinge Step Stamping was really easy, really easy. There's some really awesome designs out there with the Hinge Step Stamping. I'm gonna have to think. I wanted to try to find a card, create a card with a graphic image that was repeated, but I couldn't think of one last night, so I just went with this one instead because I still really like it. Okay. Let's put this one on down here. Okay. Oops. Hold that straight. Yeah, I'm sorry. I have to have things straight. Okay, now we'll go with the purple one. Yeah, well, there are other Christmas trees that you could use for this design, I'm sure. Like, there's got to be other ones that were out there, or you could maybe change it up with something else. But yeah, the little skinny trees, I mean, it's a specific kind of look, right? I'm really excited to see the next mini catalog. I know we just got the annual catalog, but I'm already excited to see the next mini. Even though I haven't even finished ordering from this catalog, there's a couple of things that I want to get from it still. Alright, so let's move this over, give a little bit more space. So that they're not just evenly spaced. I find that it looks nicer with a little bit of change in the gap between the trees. Okay. Alright, so those ones are all flat. And then these ones I'm going to put dimensionals on, the mini dimensionals. I know, every time the new catalogs come out, it's like, oh, I don't have that. I really need that. And I don't know how like some demonstrators like sell their stock after a while, because like I like all of them. Well, okay, you know what? There are a few that I don't love as much as the others that might be persuaded to part with, but it's so hard. Okay, so I'm going to cut these in half because these trees are so skinny, and I want it to my dimensional to fit in the top of my tree. So I'm going to use the ones I cut in half at the top of the tree. That's as close as I can get without it sticking out. And then I'll use the rest of the dimensionals for the bottom half. I'll just stick one. There's really not much room. I think I just stuck one, but you know, when it goes through the mail, I kind of want it to have a little bit more support on each side. So I'm going to cut this one in half. Oh, I lost the backing already. Okay, so let me just try and get this in there. There we go. And this one back here. Good. I'll take another mini and do the same thing. Oops. Okay, I just stuck my hand on it. And one last one. All right, so now I'm going to take off the backings and we'll put them on. Actually, you know what I should do is I should stick this on my mats first, because once I put these dimensional ons, it'll be just a little bit trickier to press down. So let's do that. So I'm going to mat my, actually, you know what? I remember why I didn't want to do that. I remembered I wanted to trim my edges. Okay, we'll go back to the original plan. Put these on, and then I'll trim the edges before I attach it to the matting. Now I'll just use the tear and tape because it makes it easier instead of having to press down with the Stampin' Seal. Okay, so here's one tree. And I'll put it right here. Sorry, I'll need to line this up. Okay. There. Here's my other tree. Oh, I think I took all the backings off. That's right. Okay, so this one can go in the middle here. Okay. There, and now I'm just going to trim the edges. So you can just turn it over to make it easy to see. There we go. Now they're all trimmed. Okay, and then I'll use my tear and tape. Because these are raised now, I don't want to have to press my Stampin' Seal down there. There's the edge. Okay. I think I told you guys, I posted in my group that actually the tear and tape is more economical than the Stamp and Seal. But I have both because they both have their uses, and it's definitely faster to just use the Stamp and Seal sometimes. But I like having both. These are really good for using to adhere ribbon, I find. They're actually just the width of, you know, some of the ribbons that you wouldn't be able to adhere using a Stamp and Seal. All right, there we go. Yeah, I can't believe I'm thinking about Christmas stuff already. I'm actually thinking about my next class already, and I haven't even had time to get ready for the class coming up yet. I have to do that one first, but I'm already thinking about the Christmas in July type of deal, and getting excited about that. I just need a few more hours in my day. I don't know about you guys, but I could use like another, 6 hours would be nice. 6 hours when the kids are asleep. That way I can actually get some stuff done. Okay, I'm just gonna fold my card. Okay. There's always one side that is very slightly shorter than the other, so I always make sure that I get that side to be, I think, the front side. That the short side is on the back, so you can't see. There's a slight difference. I'm sorry, I'm a perfectionist, I know. All right, more Stamp and Seal. Sorry, not Stamp and Seal, tear and tape. How old are my kids? So my daughter is 9 turning 16. I mean 10. She'll be 10 in July. And my son is 16 years old. And he's in grade 10. So he's pretty independent, but still have to keep an eye on, you know, the video gaming time and trying to get him outside more so that he's not like in his room all the time, stuck to a screen. Maureen, you have grandchildren that you babysit from time to time, right? I think that they are even busier than having a 9-year-old and a 16-year-old because they require running after and constant supervision to make sure that they're not hurting themselves or going somewhere they're not supposed to, and entertaining. I remember it was just a lot of work when they were really young. It's a different kind of work now. All right, can stick this on now. Perfect, looks good. All right, so the original card that Jackie made, hers had silver dots, like I said, but I don't have any silver dots, so I'm going to use the polished dots. They have clear dots in this one, and I think they look good. And actually, you know what? The pink ones might actually look good. This is, I think this was the embellishment that was supposed to go with the Crane of Fortune, and these look more pink to me than Calypso Coral, which is what I thought, because that's the warm color in that collection. And I don't know, these don't really look orange to me. But you know what, they might, I don't know if they would look good with this card. Possibly. I'm liking the pale papaya. I'll go with the, just stick with the clear ones, I think. Just gonna stick one, I didn't leave as much space this time. So I'll stick one down here maybe. And then put another one over here. 3 is always the magic number, so I've been told. And I do find that 3 does give it the right kind of symmetry. Here. I know I overthink this too much. All right, good. Let's just see. All right, and then the last thing to do is add the ribbon. So she had a white ribbon, and just a plain white with a little bit of like a sateen type of ribbon, and I don't have white, so I'm using this one, which is the, I don't think, glittered organdy ribbon, which I love. It goes with everything. Like, I've used it for other birthday cards and stuff, and it just adds a bit of sparkle, iridescent sparkle in the ribbon. I love it. Okay, so I'm going to tie the ribbon first, the bow first, so I know approximately how much excess I have without going too much over. I'm not sure if I'm liking the really, really long length of it. But I'll cut them that length anyways, because I do think it adds to it. I think short would not look right. Like a short bow would not look right at all. So see, when I pre-tie the bow, then I know, oh, if I didn't leave enough length, then I can retie it and not have wasted my ribbon. If I've already cut it. So I'm going to make it a tiny bit shorter. Oops. Okay, I think that's good. That's probably about good. And I'll cut the other side to be approximately the same length. So there we go. And I'll just use a glue dot to adhere that. Let's see. So there's one dot left on here. Just going to press it right on in the middle. And I'll put it in my top corner of my card. So that's the card. And I'll probably add something inside as well. I'll probably put like a white, I might do the same kind of matting inside with the white and the gray. I'm not sure yet, but I will finish that afterwards. But that's the card for today. Christmas in May. I feel like we've started way, way early. Anyway, so I hope you enjoyed that. That's the card for today, and thanks for joining in and commenting, and hopefully I'll have my my cards ready early next week. Then we can do this all again next week. All right, thanks a lot, guys. Thanks for joining in, commenting. Have a great day. Talk to you later.